Thanks for joining us here on Golden Eagle Sports Report. I'm Jack Phillips.
And I'm Tara Schumel. Let's get down to business.
Starting off the show with some Marquette women's lacrosse, the squad returned to Valley Field Saturday afternoon for a battle with the Georgetown Hoyas. The game was close the entire 60 minutes, and the Golden Eagles took home their first ever victory against a ranked opponent. I was at the Dome at Valley Fields to recap the team's historic moment.
And the captain's squad include in the midfield, the Bonson senior from Lancaster, New York.
For the final time, Marquette women's lacrosse's all-time talent puts on another regular season performance in a Golden Eagle uniform, propelling the program to its first ever win against a ranked opponent.
When we were freshmen, the senior class, Georgetown kind of screwed them, so we've been on this journey trying to beat them all 4 years, and to finally get this win is just an incredible feeling.
Through Grace Gabriel and Charlotte McGuire's dominating offensive possessions, the squad's overall level of play can thrive as well. Saturday against Georgetown tells that exact same story, with Jules Horning leading the way on the defensive end.
At that point, I think it was just, keep winning the ball, keep coming up with stops on defense, keep moving on attack. We kind of came up with a better offensive strategy at that point, which I think gave the team confidence.
Marquette now enters its second Big East tournament in a row, starting on Thursday, as the number 2 seed Golden Eagles prepare to face the Hoyas again, this time outside at Valley Fields. Coach Black and her team understand just how hungry Georgetown will be for revenge.
They're going to come out firing. They're going to be really thirsty for a win. So I think we have to be prepared. I think we have to learn from our mistakes and really try to just limit some of the mistakes we made this game and be more aggressive than we were today.
Reporting from the Dome at Valley Fields, I'm Jack Phillips, Marquette Wire Sports.
We now want to welcome into the show two of our women's lacrosse analysts, Zoe Comerford and Maddie Adams. Guys, it feels weird, but it's the last show, so thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
It's always great to be on the show.
Well, of course, but what were your overall thoughts in the team's win over Georgetown last Saturday afternoon?
Definitely I was very surprised because it was very close. They went down 2-0 early, and then at the break they were trailing 7-5, but then they came back, and after being down 9-5, they had 4 goals in 4 minutes, which was super impressive, and they ended up tying it up at 9-9, and then after that it was very, very close, and they ended up with the 14-12 win. Grace Gabriel with 5 goals, so very impressive offense from the Golden Eagles.
Now, Zoe, Maddie, how significant was it that this was the program's first ever win against a ranked opponent?
It was really huge. The fact that Marquette is only in its 7th season as a program and they're already making such great accomplishments. This year they're in their second consecutive Big East berth, and that's a huge accomplishment for them, as well as this ranked opponent win. So both good things for them.
And a pretty up and down season for Marquette, but what were your overall thoughts on the regular season for the Golden Eagles?
Yeah, so they ended the regular season 9-8, which, they had that one loss, 24-4 against Northwestern, but overall they had a pretty impressive season. Obviously, like you said, the first time beating a ranked opponent against Georgetown, and just they had a very impressive last half of the season, and I think that'll carry over into the Big East tournament.
And then, would you guys go on the record saying this may have been Marquette's best regular season in program history, because they are the number 2 seed, after all, in this Big East tournament?
Yeah, I would say this is the best Marquette women's lacrosse season we've seen so far, and they're still going. So I think that we're going to see a lot from them in this postseason, considering that it's, like I said before, the 7th year that they have this program here, and their first season they went 2-15. This year they went 9-8. So great improvements for them, and I think with this senior class they're going to do great in the postseason.
All right, well, with Marquette now hosting the Big East tournament at Valley Fields, the Golden Eagles have the home field advantage and will look to exploit that luxury starting Thursday. I asked head coach Meredith Black about her thoughts on the honor of hosting the Big East tournament. Let's take a listen.
I think that's amazing. I think that's huge. That's such a bonus. I think no matter who was having the home crowd, I think just having our fans, not having to travel, not having to get on a plane, sleep in an airport in a hotel, that's just all an advantage. And being able to have our own facilities to rehab and to lift and to watch film is just going to make it comfortable for them. And so hopefully it'll settle some of those nerves that come with the tournament experience, and then just help them drive through to the end.
Well, regardless, guys, this is a pretty historic moment for the Golden Eagles as they will host the Big East tournament at Valley Fields. How important is that factor, having the home field advantage here at Marquette University?
I mean, it is the first time in program history that they're hosting the Big East tournament. I definitely think it's going to be an advantage because they have, the Marquette students that can come out, and they have a bunch of other teammates, a bunch of other athletes that are going to come out to support. So I definitely think that being in Milwaukee and being able to sleep in their own beds and go home to sleep in their own beds and everything will be a huge advantage because they don't have to travel on a plane. They don't have to take all of the tolls of going somewhere else, and they're going to be at home.
And finally, obviously, Marquette coming off that win against Georgetown. They're going to play them again as Georgetown is the number 3 seed. So a little bit of a rematch there. It's going to be definitely a big revenge game for the Hoyas. What are your overall predictions for the Big East tournament, not only for Marquette, but just for any of the teams in general?
Right, so first seed Denver, then Marquette, third is Georgetown, and the fourth seed is Villanova. So the first matchup for Marquette is going to be a very familiar one. They just played them this past weekend. So I feel as though that one's going to be their hard one because Georgetown is going to come in with that loss and know that it was close, so they might be able to pull it out on Thursday. And then if Marquette wins, I think Denver is going to be a really hard game. Denver is amazing, and they've beat almost every team that they've played this season, so they're going to be a really hard team to play.
All right, well, thanks, guys, for stopping by on the show. Great analysis, but we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be discussing some Marquette golf, tennis, and track and field. So don't go anywhere because Golden Eagles Sports Report will be right back.